First on Guam. KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adahi Itano program. Apply at matson.com. Cars Plus, Guam's automotive leader in sustainability and electric vehicles. Learn more at carsplusguam.com. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime. The chief of police is confident his officers caught the man responsible in the murder investigation in Sumai. This as the suspect was released from custody about a week ago.
Plus, a second student under arrest after multiple threats of gun violence surfaced at the home of the Geckos. Could authorities be searching for more suspects?
Hafide Tomas Manglonya here in Japan, continuing our coverage. Tonight, a story on how one Japanese startup is innovating how we get and use our water.
Hafide, good evening. Welcome to KUAM News Primetime. I'm Nick Delgado.
And I'm Destiny Cruz. Thank you so much for making this a part of your day.
Well, Des, the top brass of the Guam Police Department tells KUAM he is confident that his investigators caught the guy responsible in the brutal killing that occurred in Sumai earlier this month.
Guam Police Chief Stephen Ignacio today telling us his detectives had enough evidence to prove that Jamie Netadog is the alleged killer. This despite the Attorney General's office last week releasing Netadog from prison, contending there was not enough probable cause to charge him with murder.
Justice for 54-year-old Hoggett man. Guam police investigators have their work cut out for them after the man they arrested in connection to a murder in Sumai was freed from prison. Attorney General Doug Moylan telling KUAM last week there just wasn't enough evidence, but Police Chief Stephen Ignacio says otherwise. And I thought it was odd that the prosecutors decided, with all that your officers presented, not to move forward. What happened here?
Yeah, so Nick, I was on island at the time. When I returned, of course, I did have a meeting with my investigators and the staff at Criminal Investigation Division. And so, I also did, got a brief on, what the probable cause was that led them to make an arrest. And, I concur with their findings. I also called, the General Moylan, to kind of discuss, the case. And so, the General did inform me that the Chief Prosecutor and I believe the prosecutor that was going to be assigned the case, just had some other investigative activities, follow-up investigations, if you will, that they wanted us to just further look into, and so we're doing that, and we agreed to go ahead and do more investigation into the case.
As KUAM reported, 29-year-old Jamie Netadog was arrested on suspicion of murder a day after authorities found the victim's body in a jungle area behind Sumai Bar and Grill. The victim, who authorities are still not confirming his identity, was badly beaten and hit by a car that his alleged killer stole from him. The victim's car was later found in Hoggett with blood inside it. Netadog was released the day after his arrest, but Ignacio is confident they have their suspect.
We're comfortable with our investigation. We're confident that we do have the right suspect in this investigation, and we continue to work with the General Moylan and his team and the prosecution to move forward to ensure that we bring closure to this case.
Ignacio admits the police department and the AG's office have been at odds before on cases, though details of the investigation, including a possible motive for the killing, are being kept under wraps. The chief admits his officers did find enough probable cause.
I'm sure people are concerned, that, we have this suspected murder out in the news, but, rest assured, that we are working closely and that we will bring this case to closure soon.
What can you say then, Chief, what else can you say to assure the community that they are safe, they are protected? Like you said, there is a murderer, an accused murderer that's now out there without any restrictions, without any conditions, until you guys move forward again with another arrest.
Yeah, sure. And Nick, rest assured that we do know who the person is, and we do know that we are working closely with the AG's office, And I can assure the community that at some point in the near future, we will be able to have a resolution to this case.
What if he runs?
Well, there's always the arrest warrant and extradition process. Wherever you go, you are tracked, especially if you're traveling within the United States, and we'll know where you're at and where you're going. I've been sent off island, to pick up murder suspects. Our concern is, of course, the community at large, but also, to bring closure for the victim's family, understanding that, this is not a case that we're done and over with. There's still work being done, and we can assure the victim and the community, the victim's family and the community, that we are working diligently with the AG's office to make sure we bring a closure to this case.
No word when that closure could come or if an arrest or indictment will occur.
A second George Washington High student is arrested after threats of gun violence surfaced on social media, and more teens could be facing a similar fate. A 17-year-old boy is taken into police custody, arrested on suspicion of terroristic conduct, terrorizing, and obstruction of government functions. The child is being held at the Department of Youth Affairs. His arrest comes days after authorities linked a 15-year-old girl to a virtual threat she allegedly made against the high school. Both of the cases have been closed and forwarded to the Office of the Attorney General, as a third case is open, active, and under investigation. This suggests more arrests could be made. Meantime, the FBI Honolulu Division tells KUAM, quote, "The FBI is aware and takes all threats of violence seriously. While we cannot comment on this matter, we would like the public to know that we remain in close coordination with our law enforcement partners to provide assistance if needed. As always, we encourage the public to remain vigilant and to promptly report suspicious activities which could represent a threat to public safety."
One of the 7 defendants involved in an alleged gambling scheme has taken the prosecutor's plea deal. Defendant Alfredo Leon Guerrero is set to admit guilt in the case filed against him in the District Court of Guam. Now, details of the plea agreement have not yet been made public. As KUAM reported, Leon Guerrero, along with Michael Marasigan, Jose Art Chan Jr., Christine Chan, Juanita Capulong, Minda Nicholas, and Richard Brown were indicted in federal court in June. The charges including conspiracy to operate an illegal gambling business and money laundering. Prosecutors alleging they operated an illegal gambling business using the name Guam Shrine Club and its Hafaday Bingo's nonprofit status and bingo permits to avoid getting caught by law enforcement. Leon Guerrero was set to take a plea today, but the hearing was moved to Thursday.
A rape survivor alleges her doctor, who she was seeing to try to get help, instead sexually molested her twice. A civil complaint was filed in the district court against Dr. Ugochukwu Okoma. The alleged sexual abuse occurred in October of 2021. The victim is seeking upwards to $500,000 in damages, as federal judge issued a summons for Okoma. As KUAM reported, the doctor is already facing 2 counts of 4th-degree criminal sexual conduct in the Superior Court. The first alleged sexual assault complaint was lodged against him in November 2021 and another in February of last year. Okoma, who is still actively practicing medicine at Hebziba Family Medicine Clinic, has since denied the allegations.
The man who led police on a high-speed chase in Manila now waits to find out how long he will spend in prison. Defendant Michael Gregory Rosal Jr. pleaded guilty to possession with intent to distribute last month. He was set to be sentenced this week. The hearing, however, was delayed until next year to allow prosecutors more time to prepare. It was in April of 2020 Rosal was accused of leading Guam police officers on a chase before crashing into a patrol car. During a search, officers found 9 grams of meth hidden inside a pistol and $1,300. Rosal is scheduled back in court on January 25th, 2024. It's no secret the island's only public hospital in dire need of financial help and facility repairs. On top of that, last month the Guam Memorial Hospital was at risk of losing its top official, but GMH Administrator Lillian Perez Posadas reassuring the public she will not be going anywhere. Mitsuki Hirayama has more.
Guam Memorial Hospital Administrator Lillian Perez Posadas told senators she's retiring in this heated exchange during a legislative oversight hearing last month.
Lillian, you've been there for 5 years and it's only getting worse. Isn't there a time for you to say, okay, I can't do it, I need to step down from this job and allow somebody else to come in to try and help this hospital?
Senator, thank you for that idea. Yes, I will step down. Yes, I will retire. I've done my time. Thank you.
But a week later, she sent a letter to the governor saying she's staying on board.
I officially notified the governor a week later that my decision, Governor, after really praying on it and the overwhelming support and encouragement not to resign or not to retire, I made my decision that I will stay on.
The oversight hearing was about the hospital's dire financial condition and structural and maintenance concerns.
It's not so much that they were grilling me or attacking me because it's not about me. The hospital is about the workers that give their heart and soul to continue providing the care despite the limited resources.
Since then, senators and the governor have separately committed a total bailout of $50 million for overdue vendor payments and critical facility repairs. Posada's hoping it's not a Band-Aid fix.
So you can see that we're just not getting not even 80% or 75% reimbursement from the payers.
Do you feel like the $50 million bailout is more of a Band-Aid then?
Well, hopefully not. We're looking at it to be not a Band-Aid, but to at least give us some stability because we have vendors that need to be paid.
It's a stability the hospital is looking forward to with the governor's fiscal review committee, which will oversee how the Pledge American Rescue Plan monies will be used. She says the committee, which was established last week, has yet to meet.
We haven't really made Ed Byrne, according to the governor, is the person that would take the lead and call the meeting. And in fact, I texted him yesterday to let me know when he wants to call the meeting together and if he needs any help for us to then come together.
For now, the public can hear more about the state of the hospital in a GMHA Board of Trustees meeting Wednesday at 5 p.m. One thing to look out for, how the hospital is addressing a national nursing shortage.
That's been quite of an issue of concern because of the cost. And so we continue to rely on the utilization of these travel nurses to come and help us because of our perennial nursing shortage.
You can find the Zoom meeting information on KUAM.com. Mitsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
Well, day 2 of the October regular session was canceled today. Senators tried repeatedly to convene but were interrupted by apparent technical difficulties with their live video feed. Speaker Therese Terlahi.
We are again having some serious technical difficulties that requires our audio to work on this overnight. So my apologies to all those who are watching and to my colleagues. We are going to have to recess until tomorrow at 9:30. Hoping that everything will be in line by then. Okay? Recess again, still on the same bill. We'll recess until 9:30 tomorrow. Thank you.
They are still discussing Senator Roy Quinata's bill to allow the Guam Historic Preservation Trust to restore the historic Old Baptist Church in Inalahan. Once again, session is rescheduled to resume tomorrow morning.
The government of Guam collected $79.4 million, more than it projected for fiscal year 2023. But according to the latest report from the Budget Bureau, all but $308,000 is left of that excess funding. The Consolidated Revenue and Expenditure Report for the fiscal year ending in September shows that the government of Guam raked in some $931.7 million in FY23, nearly $80 million more than the projected $852.3 million. But because of subsequent legislative appropriations, the report shows there's only about $308,000 in cash left.
The spending breakdown shows $15 million for the Local Employers Assistance Program, $10.8 million for the GPA Power Credit Program Round 3, $10 million for GDOE, $500,000 for Public Health, and $100,000 for the Behavioral Health and Wellness Center. The career also shows the general fund covering a $13.3 million shortfall in special fund revenues, specifically the Educational Facilities Fund, the Guam Highway Fund, and the Healthy Features Fund. Finally, the report adds the recently appropriated $30 million to cover the Guam Memorial Hospital's overdue vendor payments.
Well, Des, let's give everyone some time to digest all those numbers we just gave them. You, of course, can look at the report on KUAM.com. Time for a quick break, but keep it here.
You're watching KUAM, your leader in local news.
Peacock is streaming your NBC local station now.
A tip, sending police.
Get your local news and weather.
Wow, definitely one of a kind.
At home or on the go.
Mitigation process.
Plus, your favorite NBC shows. from morning till night, live.
Welcome to Today. So good to have you with us.
You make a great team, huh?
And so much more.
Welcome aboard.
That was awesome.
All in one place. Streaming now on Peacock.
Let's go.
Oh, they're ready. When it comes to the good stuff,
oh my goodness gracious,
they stay ready.
These are the two sauces,
sweet and spicy jam,
and the mambo.
Look how that thing drizzle on there.
The way it's glistening, stop.
Oh my.
Sweet and spicy jam and mambo sauce are on the McDonald's menu for a limited time.
Oh my goodness.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
There it is. My dad went EV.
It's electric. Don't be shocked.
The guy who's eternally locked out of his email is going EV. Ooh, nice car.
Actually, it's an EV. Rhymes with Kev. Look, EVIP parking.
I get it. You think they don't charge fast enough or go far enough.
Up to 80% charge in 18 minutes. Range? Heck, we could go to Mexico.
Are you Kevin Bacon?
But EVs aren't going to stop being a thing. Look at the Ioniq 6.
Maca mushroom frap for Kevin.
So just make the leap already.
Okay, watch this. Blue or red? Blue light, red light. I can also make it play nature sounds if you want.
Let's just drive.
Introducing the all-electric Hyundai Ioniq 6 with up to 360-mile range. When it comes to EVs, we're thinking of every mile.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa, you can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Infectious disease transmission prevention in the workplace. It's not if, it's when. Are you ready? Be prepared. BIA Hawaii is offering free training for workers and employers.
We take my food seriously around here, like my chicken sauced and loaded sandos. 2 chicken strips on a brioche bun, loaded with fries, bacon bits, and 3 sauces. As you can see, our saucers and loaders are the best in the biz. Try them today.
What you need to know from the Northern Marianas. Follow KUAM CNMI on Instagram for the latest regional headlines.
Welcome back to Primetime. Now to the urgent manhunt for the suspected gunman who killed a Maryland judge. The judge has ties to Guam. He was born here.
Authorities believe Judge Andrew Wilkinson was shot and killed because of his ruling in a divorce case just hours earlier in his courtroom. NBC's Stephanie Gosk has the latest on the search.
This morning, a massive search is underway for the alleged killer of a respected Maryland judge. Police releasing these images of 49-year-old Pedro Argote, who they say shot Circuit Court Judge Andrew Wilkinson Thursday night outside Wilkinson's house in Hagerstown, while his wife and son were at home inside.
Argote is not in custody and is considered armed and dangerous.
The vicious attack happened just hours after the judge awarded custody of Argote's 4 children to his ex-wife, according to court documents. Wilkinson also denied Argote visitation rights and ordered him to pay child support. Last year, Argote's now ex-wife filed a domestic violence petition against her ex-husband, but it was dismissed 2 weeks later. On Saturday, police recovered Argote's abandoned vehicle in a wooded area less than 10 miles away from the crime scene.
We're going to catch this guy.
Authorities say Argote has ties to multiple regions beyond the state of Maryland, including New York, Florida, Indiana, and North Carolina.
It's just a matter of time before this subject is brought to justice.
An attorney for Argote's now ex-wife telling NBC News they have no information about the whereabouts of Mr. Argote, writing in a statement, "Our hearts ache for Judge Wilkinson's family. Judge Wilkinson was a kind, caring, and compassionate individual. He will truly be missed."
He acted with dignity in all times, and he always made decisions based on intellect and honesty.
Now, as the suspect remains on the run, the tight community that Judge Wilkinson served is reeling from this senseless act of violence.
This is not indicative of what this town is. I mean, it's a tragedy, it is awful, and it's the world that we live in, and it's a shame.
Trump co-defendant and Haggett native Walt Nauta has opted to keep his attorney in the Mar-a-Lago classified documents case despite an alleged conflict of interest. Prosecutors say Nauta's attorney, Stanley Woodward, has a conflict of interest because he previously represented information technology specialist Yuscil Tavares, who is expected to be a key government witness at trial and currently represents an additional witness who the government may call to testify. Judge Cannon advised Nauta that Woodward must avoid harming the interests of his current and former clients at trial, and that in doing so, he would be a weaker advocate for Nauta. Still, Nauta told the court he understands the conflicts with respect to Woodward's current and former clients, but would like to move forward with Woodward as his lawyer. Nauta is charged with former President Donald Trump with scheming to conceal classified government documents from federal investigators. The trial currently scheduled to begin in May. A Tokyo-based startup is rethinking the way people get and use water, both at home and in times of disaster.
Regional correspondent Tomas Manglotner reports on the wave of change unleashed by this up-and-coming business.
Water, a play on the word water, got its start when a group of young engineers realized that Japan has a big problem. Its water infrastructure is rapidly aging, and so is its population.
We need to renew infrastructure, and that infrastructure investment is going to increase. But at the same time, what's happening all around Japan is that we're losing population, and so the revenue from water rates is going to decrease rapidly.
Water has launched 2 products so far. One is the Water Box, a portable recycling system that can be used in disaster sites and rural areas. Its proprietary filtration system provides a reusable supply of clean water for washing hands and for showers. This product, called the Wash, is a self-contained hand-washing station that recycles water. The company says the Water Box has helped over 20,000 people in disaster areas, while more than 3 million people have used the hand-washing unit, especially during the pandemic. Water says that one hurdle has been convincing people that recycled water is safe to use.
Using water reuse is not something that we do, that we know that we do at home, for example, because reuse is not put in place by government yet. So it helps building this social acceptance, and you touch it, you see it, you see it's quite safe, at least for grey water. And we hope that in the coming years, regulation also will evolve to allow using water unit or reuse water, because it's kind of one of the biggest obstacles to use the reuse.
Water's next product is a standalone water recycling system for homes and businesses. It can supply water off the grid and also replace large centralized water systems.
The very simple concept is that if we could build something where we can recycle the water that is being used in your home on site, then we wouldn't need, the large systems that we have today.
3 rural municipalities in Japan already use Water's technology, and the company is in discussions with 20 more Japanese communities. Water also wants to work with island nations burdened by dwindling access to fresh water and costly infrastructure.
Tomas Manglotner, KUAM News, Tokyo.
The island fell into load shedding again last night as the PD number 8 baseload generator was taken offline. GPA General Manager John Beneventi briefing the CCU on it during a work session today.
Really, for the whole month of October, we've been doing very good, except for this past weekend.
Sure.
But I had to make a concerted decision to take number 8 down and do the preventive maintenance that we've been delaying.
We agree.
So that's why. But if you look before the whole month,
it was
there's
good.
very little.
Okay. And so, and when are you gonna complete 8?
It's actually up now.
It's up now.
Yeah.
Getting it up.
And so the next one is PD7, not even. But in the board book, I also have an update of everything that we're doing to increase capacity.
The PD7 unit is running on limited production and will be taken offline next week for several days. GPA is hoping to raise capacity from the current 21 megawatts to 31. A potential load shedding schedule has been released for next week. We have the schedule for you on KUAM.com.
Well, from cultivating to retail, there have been multiple applicants approved by the Cannabis Control Board for responsible official cannabis ID cards.
But progress is clogged for the only testing laboratory applicant, Pacific Analytical Services. Mitsuki Hirayama has more.
A key requirement for the island's recreational cannabis industry to launch has hit a roadblock when the Cannabis Control Board granted approval for the first and sole lab applicant, Pacific Analytical Services, last October. It was the push Guam's cannabis industry needed to bud. Industry rules and regulation requires lab testing for all cannabis products before being sold. But during Monday's board meeting, Chair and Attorney Vanessa Williams bringing up the applicant's issues getting approval from the Department of Land Management.
I heard that someone was having issues with getting their applications for I believe it was a lab establishment, trying to get clearances from land management because of some misunderstanding in the rules.
Department of Revenue and Taxation Compliance Supervisor Craig Camacho says he had a casual conversation with the applicant and the issue seems to stem from a lease agreement requirement.
Because the requirement for land management clearance at the CAL level is an actual lease agreement showing the lease agreement, and he's going to conduct cannabis business there as an establishment. I think what he was wanting to address with the board is they're kind of skeptical now. Remember I said I'm locking in lease agreements if they're not sure the facility is going to qualify.
Camacho says the applicant asked if the board would allow for a letter of intent to lease the facility without actually committing to the lease.
Not a request by my office. I did speak to him though, now that you brought it up. I invited him in today's meeting, but again, he's traveling. He was asking whether to prevent this from happening, being locked into a lease agreement and then probably not going to comply with utilities or power down the road when it comes to the PTO, would the board allow for a letter of intent?
Board member and Guam Behavioral and Wellness Center Director Teresa Ariola says the applicant should make a formal request to the board before they can come to a decision. She adds land management should also give their input.
I would like to hear from land management themselves why it could or could not, whatever their decision is or whatever their position might be. So we can understand it because this might not be the last time.
Until then, whether Pacific Analytical Services can move forward with opening up the first laboratory will have to wait until the next board meeting. Mitsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
And now let's get you up to speed on an amazing initiative from some amazing folks. We all know siblings Brandon and Landon Idlet from their work giving us the weather. And we all were amazed by their latest community project last month. You see there on your screen where the twin brothers, they recreated the Twin Towers in honor of September 11th.
That's right. This past weekend, the structures of the World Trade Center erected using 92,000 Lincoln logs were assembled at the Agana Shopping Center. Here's younger brother Landon with the details.
Definitely, we wanted to keep in mind the sensitivity, like you said, the event. Many people lost their lives. But this was one that we wanted to honor the first responders and military of Guam and across the states. And so this is a very good and successful event, bringing that recognition to people. Taking the towers down, that was tricky because we wanted to test some capabilities of our building structure. We've had, I think it was 6 earthquakes in the last month and a half that jolted the island, like magnitude 5.0 and larger. And so it took us about an hour to take both towers down. Yeah, we have a couple projects in line for next year. And so we're going to probably go a little bit taller depending on the venue and the event and the request. But we might have 2 events next year.
Man, it's always great to see the work that those guys put on. And thanks for keeping us updated on the weather.
Definitely so great. Keep up the good work, guys. Well, ask permission first.
Who said?
It's a lesson. You'll find out right here. It's a lesson passed down when we're out in the jungles, all part of the story of the Tautomona.
Yeah, tonight's Tautomona tale, we didn't have to go too far to find. It's our very own production guy, Pete Anderson, sharing his experience.
My mechanic's dad had called my mom, and they were talking about it, and they, was telling my mom, that I took the son in, and got some parts, and my mom was telling me, goes, what else did you guys do? He goes, that was it. We just took parts out of the engine. What? I was asking my mom, what was going on? She goes, boy, when you and so and so left the ranch, they followed him. I go, wait, Mom, it was just me and him in his truck. So nobody followed. What do you mean, Mom? They followed. And tomorrow she just, Matatiji nani tauto? I go, oh.
What does that mean?
Followed by a person.
Okay.
Yeah, a person followed him.
Were you still thinking, no, it was just the two of us, Mom?
Yeah. All along I kept thinking, and then when I realized, when my friend's dad called my mom, I forgot that they really believe in these type of things, I guess, or what. But I just said, so what happened? He goes, Uncle said that when he tried to go to sleep, he went into his room, he lied down in his bed, and somebody else lied down right next to him. I go, what? Yeah, and of course, Uncle said that he tried to ignore it, because he told the dad everything. He tried to ignore it, and when he tried to ignore it, they started tickling his feet.
What?
I said, Mom,
but your mechanic never called you for the past few days
never called me for this. That's how he is, though.
Okay.
He doesn't, he just keeps things to himself. Look, it's funny that he even told the dad the whole thing. So, when the dad was telling my mom all this, I'm like, go, so what do they want me to do? And he goes, boy, Uncle, what if you can, before it gets dark, because it's getting dark, can you please go into the ranch and ask for forgiveness? Go, well, why I gotta go in? I'm not the one they followed.
Yeah.
And my mom goes, that's all you guys did at the ranch? Was you take parts? I go, well, Mom, he asked to pick the mango, and I was shocked to see that there was one mango, and my mom goes, it's not even mango season. I know, that's what I said, but I told him, go ahead and pick. He goes, oh my God, what? Uncle said that please, can you go into the ranch and ask, and tell him that you're sorry that you picked the mango and everything.
Oh, wow, ask permission. Because last night after hearing that story from Pedro, I had a hard time sleeping till like 1:30 in the morning, high key.
Ooh,
so I told Pete, I said, please go to the mango tree and apologize for me, because I feel like it's kind of like we're feeding off of these stories that we're sharing.
Right.
And the energy is following your boy home.
Woo.
KUAM.
Sending you good vibes.
Thank you. KUAM will bring you a new Tautomona tale each night this week. Here on our network, you can also watch the episodes at KUAM News on YouTube.
That's right. All right, and now for a look at your world at home. Here's a beautiful view captured from Rota of the ocean near the old Pinatang Park.
This view plus more Chamorro music like this streaming now on Isla Digital Radio.
Hi, folks. Robert Quigley here, America's Independent, Washington, D.C. We're on the road to the White House. Today, who are my favorite presidents? Well, they're Teddy Roosevelt, Dwight Eisenhower, Jimmy Carter, and, of course, Andrew Jackson. Teddy Roosevelt was a great outdoorsman, so am I. Dwight Eisenhower, a war hero and a Republican president that showed that big government can do great things if managed properly. Jimmy Carter was very unpopular in his lifetime. However, he did show how great of a senior statesman he was post-presidency. Andrew Jackson, I love Andrew Jackson. Forget about the slavery stuff. He tells us that there's a great tension between the judicial branches of government and the executive and legislative branches. We will come back to this. Big government can be a force for good. These presidents tell us that there's a triumph for the ordinary man that will take America far. Career politicians are the wrong way to go. Join Team America. Go to robertquigleyforpresident.com, donate what you can, and together we will make America work for all of us.
Paid for and approved by the Robert Quigley for President campaign.
Howdy, folks. Nobody loves a Guam potluck more than I do. That's why I always bring my world-famous chicken, served any way you like it. Original recipe, extra crispy tenders, Kentucky Fried Wings, and more. Only at KFC Guam. Whoops. Well, it is finger-licking good.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Getting 2 of my delicious croissants with a freshly cracked egg means your day is off to a good start. And I serve them all day because I'm not here to judge what time your day starts.
KUAM Sports Ambassadors is brought to you by Subway, Powerade, and Body Armor. Next month's Pacific Games in the Solomon Islands host a variety of sporting events: tennis, archery, athletics, boxing, rugby, weightlifting, and so much more. And while all noble pursuits, the Outrigger Canoe Races, one of 8 events in which Team Guam will compete, is uniquely different.
We're going up against some pretty high caliber teams once we get out there.
You're talking like Samoa, Tahiti,
yeah,
Fiji.
Tahiti, Samoa, Australia. Obviously, they have a lot of experience under their teams, and they've been together a little bit longer than we have, but we're going to give it the best we have.
It's a formidable challenge because other crews paddle for much more than medals and the glory of representing their homeland. They're honoring tradition and riding the waves with the strength of their ancestors. And in this sport, we'll be facing athletes that are the best in the world.
For the Pacific Games, we were paddling with the va'a, which is a very heavy, knife-looking canoe. So the experience with all of that has taught me a lot, dealing with different conditions, different boats or different canoes, different paddles. It's been quite the experience.
But the greater victory is the community that paddling has created, extending our shared heritage as Pacific Islanders. Now, this year's typhoon may have created a setback in training, but not at all in our crew's fighting spirit.
Well, yeah, Typhoon Mawar definitely did put a dent in our plans, but there's nothing else that you can do but push on and keep going on. Just keep training, do your best, and the results will show from there.
So how does Guam look to keep pace with this caliber and battle for a place on the podium? Miara Ruiz's proven method is one the entire Guam contingent has committed to: putting in work.
Time and practice. A lot of us have been together from the mini games since Saipan. Some of us have paddled together since Hagen with our club, within our clubs, but we've been together for over a year now, some of us, longer, and we're counting on that to adapt and change our styles to match each other. All you can really do is put time in the water.
And the tactical side is something Guam's Va'a crew is bringing to the games: situational awareness, teamwork, timing, confidence, and trusting the process.
Mentally, I feel for either sprints or distance, you really have to change it up. For the sprints, you really got to think about, okay, when we reach the turns, you got to go, because anything can go wrong, and it's up upon the whole boat to see what we got to do together to push through. For the distance, that's a whole nother ball game. In the distance, that's hours of paddling, staying together, listening to each other's breathing. There's no music out there.
And no two races are ever the same.
No, not at all. Not at all. Every race is different.
And our VAA squad stands by a solemn promise they've made to each other, to the rest of the Team Guam contingent representing us, and to the island community.
We're going to give it all we got. We're going to make sure that we're pulling those long and strong strokes, because that's how we move our boat. We got some big people on our boat too, so that's the way we're going to apply our power and keep pushing on, keep pulling on. It's the way we paddle. It's the way we do.
KUAM Sports Ambassadors is brought to you by Subway, Powerade, and Body Armor.
House to Home, presented by Remax Diamond Realty.
Half a day, boys and girls. Welcome to House to Home. We are talking about 4-letter phrases today. I'm Jason from KUAM. There's a 4-letter phrase. Liz and Gina are from RDRG, Remax Diamond Realty Guam, right? And the other 4-letter phrase we want to talk about is FSBO, right? For sale by owner. Everybody sees those signs around a lot, but Liz, let's start with you. Is it really possible for somebody to take a piece of property they want, put it to market, list it, and then actually get like a deal that they're satisfied with?
So there are owners who sometimes want to try to sell the property themselves. So we've had owners, and we refer to them as FSBOs, for sale by owner. And and when they are not successful, then of course they would say, okay, I'd like you to list my property and put it on the market for sale. So for sale by owner is an owner who places a property on the market for sale. They don't want to work with a broker. They want to deal with buyers that come directly to them. And these type transactions, you have to bear in mind that the seller is dictating what they want. And if the buyer does not have an agent representing them, the buyer may not be aware of, what the process is about.
Conditions, shall we say?
Conditions.
Yeah, so is it typically is it typically that the seller may say, like, okay, well, I'm leaving the island, or I've got, I need to come up with cash quick, so I'm just trying to get this deal done really, really fast, or quite simply, are they a control freak?
Well, if the seller's doing that, the other thing for a potential buyer is if the seller's asking $500,000, for example, is that the market value? And who is going to guide the buyer to determine, well, if I pay $500,000 and they want cash and I have it, is that the market value for that property? So if I'm an agent representing a buyer, I would normally look at the market, check our MLS to see what the data is of what the current market value is. So the market value could be $400,000, but a particular seller wants $500,000. So yeah, if you're not educated enough to call and ask for guidance or get some information, and you're dealing directly with a seller, there could be some issues that crop up as a result. We've had situations, and it's not necessarily all the time, but we've had situations where buyers would work directly with the seller. And we've had stories where the seller would take monies and then the deal would not go through. So yeah, buyer beware.
There's a little bit of sketchiness you have to be aware of. We're not indicting anybody who has done the FSBO model before. We're just like, buyer beware, maybe.
Yeah, just buyer beware, educate yourself. And if you're going to deal with a seller, no problem, but ask for some guidance. Try to get some information to educate yourself before you move forward with that.
So if final thought, Gina, if I may analogize for a moment, right? So it's kind of like, I can kind of see this like, if I was going to go to the gym, right, and I wanted to get in shape and I've never been to the gym before, there's nothing wrong with me going up to some, weight machine or apparatus or free weights and everything like that, and just doing it on my own, or maybe reading a book or two or going online and Googling like how to get in shape. That's fine. But if I actually spent the money and took the time to actually work with a fitness coach, I'm probably going to get like a much better deal in a lower amount of time. Is that correct?
You definitely would get better results.
There you go.
And,
Results.
and
Thank you.
unlike the gym, you can really hurt yourself going in there and playing with all that equipment if you don't
Great
know
point.
what you're doing. I've seen people in here get hurt, because they overdid it, didn't know what they were doing, inexperienced. So yeah, I mean, that's the reason you go to professionals if you want professional results. You wouldn't pull your teeth out yourself, would you?
I'm going to go ahead and plead the fifth on the fact that I may or may not know people that have tried that before. And those, the whole thing about tie the string and then tie it to like the door and then never mind. That's a completely different.
I know my grandkids all under 12 do that, Jace, but I would think that as we get older and more wiser,
there you go,
that we try to do it ourselves.
Do you have any orthodontists that you have as clients right now? They may be watching this and they're like, no, guys. Actually, we're helping out their business too. Go see your realtor, go see your dentist, go see your fitness trainer and everything. Like the right tool for the right job.
No, Liz and I, we strongly promote the idea that you go to a professional when you want good results.
House to Home, presented by RE/MAX Diamond Realty. Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo Select Care.
Off a day, I'm Claire Calvo, bringing you your weekly renewal. 16 years ago, Synergy Studios and Conscious Living brought to Guam the very first 21-day detox program. The founders of the program, Dr. Richard D'Andrea and John Wood, who are a medical doctor and a naturopath, they traveled to Guam for this 3-week program annually for over a span of 5 years. Since their final visit, the co-owners of Synergy Studios, Lily Regis, and myself have been permitted and were given authorization by the doctors to facilitate this program moving forward. This program is near and dear to my heart. When I moved back home in 2004, one of my goals was to share some of the practices and tools that had helped me when I was going through some health opportunities. I learned the importance of looking at these previously perceived health challenges or health problems as health opportunities instead. When we think of something as a problem or a challenge, our approach is different than if we see it as an opportunity. I realized that I had a great opportunity to make changes in my diet, in my lifestyle, and most especially in my mindset. Our mind can literally heal us or kill us. What we feed our mind is just as, if not more, important than what we feed our bodies. At just 27 years old, I had my first colonoscopy. What was assumed to be food poisoning or just a really bad case of stomach flu turned out to be symptoms of IBS. Internal bleeding was the telltale sign that there was something more serious going on. After being prescribed prednisone and other steroidal treatments, I was interested in seeking complementary therapies. I tried it all: acupuncture and TCM, Ayurveda, heavy metal chelation, colonics, blood ozone, urotherapy, and every dietary adjustment from raw food vegan to macrobiotics to blood type diet to nothing but fats and protein candida cleanse. And the 21-day detox was one of my favorite programs because it was relatively easy and it was a complete holistic program that addressed my physical body, but also the interconnection with my mental, emotional, and energetic spiritual body. It was a holistic program. It felt so good that I remained raw vegan and continued with some of the program's recommendations for even a few years after that first program that I initiated. Since then, Synergy Studios has offered the 21-day detox annually, and sometimes even twice a year. The plant-based program consists of the discourse, daily shakes, hard and electronic copies of the informational booklet, 108 healing recipes and natural remedies, as well as a presentation material, daily check-ins, yoga and meditation classes, one-on-one chakra attunement and alignment, crystal light healing bed, and far infrared sauna treatments. Over the years, we have added more holistic tools and practices that have truly made this 3-week program a holistic body, mind-soul release, reset, and renew process. The next program is scheduled for October 28th discourse and October 30th through November 19th program. All of the classes and sessions are optional, but highly recommended. For more information, please contact Synergy Studios at 472-YOGA or visit us online at synergystudios.com or follow us on social media at Synergy Studios Guam. This gift of health to yourself is a great way to open up. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time on your Weekly Renewal.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo Select Care.
Katia Lezen has been diagnosed with ovarian cancer twice. The first time when she was 46.
My kids at the time were 11, 15, and 17, and I was facing the very real possibility that I may not be able to see them into adulthood.
Ovarian cancer has a 50% survival rate over 5 years. If it's caught at stage 1, those odds improve to more than 90%. But a new nationwide survey found 7 in 10 women wrongly believe Pap smears test for ovarian cancer.
Pap smear screens for cervical cancer only.
Dr. Efi Stitt says because guidelines now recommend Pap smears every 3 to 5 years, too many women skip annual checkups that could catch potential early symptoms of ovarian cancer, like pelvic pain, bloating, or low appetite.
By not being seen annually, we lose the opportunity to screen for some of these subtle presentations.
For those with family history, genetic testing can identify risk. Lezen carries the BRCA1 gene mutation that increases the chance of multiple cancers, including breast cancer. It's knowledge that can help with treatment and prevention.
I elected to have a prophylactic double mastectomy that was fully paid for by my insurance company because of my mutation.
More than 10 years after her first diagnosis, she is living proof you can survive ovarian cancer.
Let's arm ourselves with the right information and be proactive about our health before you get that call that says, I don't know how to tell you this.
She says all women should see their doctor every year. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
I do it big. With the Pizza Hut Big Dinner Box, however you want a dinner, we got you covered. Big time. I do it big. The Big Dinner Box. 2 pizzas, breadsticks, and wings or pasta. Oh, hello.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
While you've been waiting to see if EVs are a thing, my dad went electric.
Up to 360 miles on a single charge.
And if my dad's on board, yours could be next.
You know I'm doing this for the next generation.
Dad, we are not having the grandkids conversation again.
No, I'm just saying EVs are good for any generation. Or all generations. Generationally good.
Introducing the all-electric Hyundai Ioniq 6 with up to 360-mile range. When it comes to EVs, we're thinking of every mile.
I need your help solving a murder.
Oh, yeah? Whose murder?
Mine.
My name is Alec Mercer.
I was brought in because I know people and why they do inexplicable things.
You're the science guy.
That's Bill Nye. I'm actually the behavioral science guy.
Good morning, Professor.
Hello, hello. Welcome to Applied Psychology 101. Are you familiar with predictable irrationality? Attentional blindness, bereavement sex.
Nothing irrational about that.
Pride, revenge, the perfect crime.
Who do you think you are, James Bond?
I think I'll throw my back out. People are irrational, but predictably so. One error in judgment leads to another.
So this is just a theory.
Well, gravity was just a theory at one point.
The Irrational, Monday on NBC and streaming on Peacock.
Giving Tuesday falls on November 28th this year, and once again, the KUAM Air Force is empowering our youth to share in this global day of service with our Giving Tuesday Spark Ambassador program. This past weekend, we held a special development workshop with our new ambassadors, made up of juniors and seniors representing local high schools. As Spark Ambassadors, they'll join millions of youth leaders globally who are working to make a difference and spread the power of what the Giving Tuesday movement deems radical generosity. They'll be working in their schools, communities, and with organizations to develop acts of kindness for Giving Tuesday. It's an international movement having our youth take charge of the world they'll soon inherit. Fresh minds with innovative ideas, we are excited to see what these purpose-driven youth leaders come up with for this global day of giving. You too can participate in Giving Tuesday 2023. Remember, every act counts, no matter how big or small. Join the KUM Care Force and our Spark leaders in harnessing the spirit of Inafamalik to kick off the holiday season.
Giving Every Tuesday is brought to you by J. Goodman, a happiness company.
I am wearing the throwback of all throwbacks, everybody. Remember the Waterboy, 1998? Adam Sandler, Bobby Boucher, All-American for the University of Louisiana Mud Dogs, which is a school that doesn't exist, by the way. But you can watch all of the amazing college football on Peacock. Man, the Waterboy's 25 years old now, so best throwback ever. Tell you what, speaking about throwing it forward, make sure this Saturday on the 28th of August, make sure to check out from 7 a.m. until 1 in the afternoon, the Saturday Swap Meet and Marketplace. I've been there. It's amazing. It's awesome. Vendors, food, nice people. They have tons of stuff, really, really good prices. It's at Freedom Park in Tamuning, only $1 for adult. Kids and pets are 100% free. There's vendors, as I said, food trucks, live entertainment from R and Beach and JB and John Larimer, our buddy John. Also dress in costume because there will be trick-or-treating. You can get into the spirit of All Hallows Eve, courtesy of our friends at John F. Kennedy High School, because they are putting on a haunted house. And you know, JFK, they do it big, right? Incantation. This is awesome. Again, Shopping Center, second floor. So you know they got a lot of floor space over there, right? That's a lot of square feet to scare you, and in a very, very good way. It's 5 to 10, 28th, 29th, and 31st on Halloween night. Make sure to go there. Support the JFK class of 2024. Congratulations to the Islanders for voting on another awesome haunted house. There's a lineage there for the green and gold to doing haunted houses. And registration and triage for our friends up in Tinian for Clinic with a Heart will take place on the 29th from 9 to 12 at the Tinian Gym. Procedures will take place on the 29th from 1 to 5. All right. Nick and Destiny, clearly I'm already dressing up in costume. What's taking you guys so long? Halloween right around the corner.
Well, a week or too early there for Jason Salas.
Jason Salas.
Well, it's birthday wishes time.
Here's your Cold Stone Crew Merry Birthday Club shout out submitted on KUAM.com.
Caden Kanata Rosalind, happy birthday to you on the 24th of October. Throwback photo, your shout out says, for our birthday boy because he turns 20 today. Very nice. Your family says, happy birthday, son, and we love you and wish you all the best life has to offer. Love, L-O-V-E in all caps, from Dad, Mom, Jaron, Noah, Isaiah, Odin, and KJ. Hey, 20 is a big year. We know you're going to step up, Caden. We, your island family, we wish you the very, very best. A happy birthday. and a wonderful day. And you know what? Your family is very, very proud of you. And today is your day. So Kaden, happy birthday to you and happy 20th.
Happy birthday to all of you celebrating out there today. That's your primetime show. Thanks for watching. I'm Nick Delgado.
And I'm Destiny Cruz. Stay beautiful, Guam.